short span of time with the home run derby and then the All-Star game, but just try to try to meet as many people as possible and pick their brains, and because the concentration of talent and knowledge at the All-Star game is unlike anything that I'm ever going to experience in my life. So just gonna want to experience that and learn as much as possible.
Was this something you even considered being a possibility when you debuted in May? Just because, I mean, you came up mid-season, did you even think this was a chance of happening?
Not really. I haven't thought about it a ton. Up to this point, obviously starting the year in AAA, the odds of going to the Major League All-Star game are pretty slim, and so that wasn't one of my goals necessarily or expectations of this season, but just a huge honor that I'm able to do it, obviously over a short period of span in the big leagues.
That said, Paul, I remember after your first start in Wrigley, you said to me, I'm going to do something cooler than that at some point in my career. Is this pretty cool? I mean, to have this washed over you so quickly?
Yeah, and I still hope I do something cooler than making an All-Star game too, so that kind of still stands.
One of the reasons you're here, and one of the reasons you've been picked, is your numbers are really good with runners on base, runners in scoring position. You quelled a lot of rallies. You managed to keep the games at the opposing offenses at bay. Why have you been so good with runners on base so far this season?
It just comes down to executing, and I think that's something that really good pitchers are able to do. It just comes down to executing pitches and getting guys out, because hitters' approaches change. Our approach needs to change in terms of getting them out too. So ultimately, it just comes down to executing in those situations.
Well, I'm sure you've watched a lot of All-Star games growing up. Do you have a favorite memory of just anything that happened in an All-Star game when you were watching as a fan of the game?
I don't know. I always I go in visitor locker rooms, around the league. You see pictures of some really good players. Like we went to Detroit and Chapman was on the wall with two different teams and like 6 years apart in like All-Star game photos. And you see, as a grown-up Angels fan, I saw Mike Trout on there. Obviously Chapman, Miggy, and guys like that. I think the cool part about the All-Star, one of the cool parts about the All-Star game is, seeing the MVP and getting the car at the end of it. So I definitely remember that. But it's been cool to, be able to kind of reminisce over that kind of thing as I grew up, watching the game and seeing little things like that, little mementos in opposing visitor locker rooms. So it kind of puts things in perspective.
Safe to say you want a chance to win a car?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the statistics are on pitchers winning it, but I definitely remember Mike Trout winning a car or two. Who knows?
Paul, what does it mean to you just to be able to represent this organization in this event and be able to share this with Brian as well?
Yeah, means a lot, and it's a little bit bittersweet because I think that we have 3 or 4 other guys that are deserving of going. It's just, the rosters are small and there's public voting and that kind of thing. And so there's a lot that goes into it, but it'd be really cool to share it with more people than just Brian, and let everybody see how good of an organization and the talent that we have here is. So it's an honor to be able to represent the city of Pittsburgh and the Pirates in the All-Star game, but definitely wish that we could kind of share that with more people.
You got to face Shohei already this season. Who would you like to face on the AL side?
I don't know. Soto and Judge are the two guys, within their own lineup, and then they'll probably be back to back again in the All-Star game too. But it's tough to pick one, just because of how concentrated the talent is. There are so many good players around the league.
What do you think about the possibility of starting? Is that crazy? Would you welcome it? I know it's not your choice, obviously. You're probably aware of people wanting to see you start for the eyeballs that it would attract, that sort of thing. How does the process sound?
That'd be cool. I have no expectations. I don't know how that works. I don't know what who gets to decide that kind of thing. But that would definitely be cool.
Paul, you went from winning the national championship at LSU to being drafted first overall to making your major league debut and now making the All-Star game all in basically the span of a year. What's that been like for you? What kind of a whirlwind has it been, or is it pretty much kind of things coming together in a way you expected?
Definitely can't expect it. I think it's just a product of probably being present and doing the work that it takes and that kind of thing. The expectation was definitely to win the national championship when we were there. That was the only thing that we wanted to do. But in terms of getting drafted first overall and getting called up when I got called up and now the All-Star game, there were no real expectations for me. It's kind of just about doing as much as I can and then putting allowing others to make the decision for me. And so it's been a lot that's happened over the course of a year, obviously, but I don't know. It hasn't necessarily been a whirlwind or anything like that. But looking back, it's gone quick.
That's good.